4, 3, 2. Now, how you gonna make noise just right there?
I was just, because as you was counting down, I was like,
wait, your phone on silent. Yeah. Yes, do that. Let me make sure I put mine on total silence. Yeah. Oh, now I'm gonna count down. 5, 4, 3, 2. What's up, y'all? Welcome to another episode of Sister Radio Show. I am your favorite sister, Narkelia, and I have a special guest, some Ram fam in the house, my homeboy Sage. What up, Sage?
I don't know if I'm that special.
You are. You got some special point of views that we're going to get to.
They specialize. They special.
Sage, tell the people a little bit about yourself.
Ram fam.
Hey.
From Savannah.
Hey. 912?
Know what I mean? Been here in Atlanta for 5 years now.
Okay.
And just trying to make it in this cruel, cold world.
It definitely is cruel and cold right now.
Trying to stay single.
And we're going to talk about that.
Right.
Because this is still the vent session shows, and today we are on marriage and relationships. And Sage and I both have some, I guess, quote unquote, unorthodox views about marriage and relationships that you might agree with, and that we don't care if you don't.
Right.
Because that's how we are. So I really wanted to bring Sage on because a while back he had this post asking women why they say they want men to lead them and where exactly are they leading them to. Sage, what made you post that?
Well, the question come from gender roles, right? Mm-hmm, and just kind of growing up, I had a conversation with my grandma, and my granddaddy passed in 01, and my grandma was saying something, and she was like, "Man, he's been the most peaceful 17 years ever." And I was like, "Whoa, grandma, what is going on right there?" She was like, "Man, I would have been killed your granddaddy." I was like, "Wait, what?" And so, but then you go back and then, you start realizing that, my grandma was in a marriage that she didn't want to be in for real. And she stayed for the kids. And that was the gist of the conversation. She understood people staying for the kids. And then it made me think about everything about a relationship. You know what I mean? Like, why do people put themselves in positions to be unhappy because of something? Like back in the day when it was like, okay, we got this girl pregnant, then you got to do the right thing. Yeah, you got to do the right thing. Well, you got to marry her. You got to make her a wife. What? Where did that come from?
I already love her.
Exactly. But then those beliefs leads to lifetime of just misery, dealing with people you don't want to deal with. And my grandma always tell this story. My grandparents, from the day I was born, and sorry, Grandma, if you ever listen to this, I don't think you would, but from the time I was born, my grandma, my granddaddy never slept in the same room. Ooh. You know what I mean? And I love my granddaddy to death, but my granddaddy has never said anything affectionate towards my grandma. My entire life, growing up. And you don't think about that as a kid because you don't know any better.
Because how you grow up, you just think that's
right.
The way.
You just think that is what it is. But that toxicity seeps into our mentals. Yeah. And then we get into relationships and think that that's okay.
We pass that shit along.
Right.
And we think we right.
and we think we right. That's the crazy thing. But what that then leads to is old problematic as ideals being bought into today's generation or our generation, and we trying to carry on these ideals that's at the very least is problematic.
Yes.
You know what I mean? At the very least, telling somebody that you're the head of the household, putting the responsibility that, hey, if this household failed, it's because of you.
And what's so weird about that, and I remember commenting on that, is that if you're in a male-female relationship and you're married, everything y'all do gonna go through the woman too.
Exactly.
So I'm trying to figure out, when you say somebody's leading and you want to be the head of household, but then at the same time, when you get in that position, oh, you didn't run this by me, or, big purchases, we make them together. Now, there are some households where the woman is truly mute, and I don't see how she do that. Mm-hmm. But in majority of marriages, everybody's making the decision together. Right. So to your point, where do you want them to lead you to? Like, and there's nothing wrong with wanting to be married, but this whole notion of somebody leading you to where?
It almost it breaks down the question of accountability, right? And it speaks to accountability, because what it does is it do what a lot of things that I believe lead to a lack of accountability, mm-hmm. right? It says that, hey, I don't have to put forth the same amount of energy as you putting forth towards this relationship,
right?
Because if it failed, then it's not my fault. It's on you.
It's on you, because you're the head and you were leading us,
exactly.
And now you led us down this path,
right? But then that lead to posts where you see women saying things like, "Oh, I need a man who's this. I need a man who's that." And if if you're not determined, if you're not this, and if you can't do this, and if you can't do that, well, what can you do? You know what I mean?
Even on the LGBT side of that, even mm-hmm. in the gender roles and that form of toxicity, it bleeds over to women on women relationships. Right. I see posts, and I don't call out people's names, but I done seen some posts from friends. It's like, a real stud would take out her woman's trash, and I'm like, bruh, you're taking on the same problematic thinking that you're claiming that you're getting away from by being free to love who you love.
Exactly.
But you're taking on the same toxicity. You still, even with, and I like her, because I like some problematic songs as well, and artists, but course. Even like a Young and May, mm-hmm. You rap about the same bullshit the dudes do. Mm-hmm. The same... The misogyny, the degradation. Yeah. It's weird because you're a woman. Mm-hmm. But you grew up with that same mentality. And of course, because you have more masculine energy, you probably were around males more.
Exactly.
Who you felt were important to you and your family. And you took on their mentality. And now you think it's right.
It's a conversation of people in power.
Yes.
Right? It's what people believe power is, and masculinity equals power to some people.
Yeah.
If I can just physically overpower you, then that means you should be subservient to me. And part of that is one of the reasons why I believe that gender roles and roles in the relationships are problematic, because it brings that mind frame of, hey, listen, I'm the man, and so you do what I say, or else what?
Yeah,
or else beat the shit out your woman,
right? Like what?
The mother of your kids,
or is you gonna leave? Okay, bye. Like, like what? And like I said, even in the women's standpoint, you're absolutely right. A lot of it is the power thing. Mm-hmm. When really people don't look at the masculinity and femininity as just energies. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. They're not supposed to be tools to dominate people. Right. It's just energy. It's just how you vibe, how you flow, mm-hmm. how you are as a person. Not to say, oh, I get to make all the rules, or I get to get paid more for the same job, or all of that. Right. But here we are. We have that. And especially in a marriage, which, y'all gonna probably not like this, but it's be overrated.
Listen, marriage is problematic, period. But
it's overrated because you guys have made it that. Mm-hmm. You guys have put so much pressure on what it should be, on what you should be based on other people's ideals, that you have made what could be something great, and what could be something great if you mind your own business and let people mind theirs, because shit, you might be into an open marriage, and that might be okay for you.
Might be okay for you.
But y'all be like trying to do some monogamous stuff when y'all really ain't into that.
Right.
Because y'all letting the world decide.
And see, that's the thing about it when you're talking about, especially monogamy in a relationship. Monogamy I have a belief that relationships can work, monogamy can't. And the only reason I say that is because you don't have to look outside of your direct circle.
Right.
For examples of why monogamy don't work. Right? You don't have to look and see Jay-Z cheating on Beyonce. You don't have to look and see Black China cheating on Rob. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to look, to people that you don't know and you can't reach. You can look to your mom.
Yeah.
You can look to your dad. You can look to your grandparents. You can look to your aunts and uncles. You can look to your friends, your closest friends.
Yeah.
And
cheating is like the number one thing, and where people also, because what I've seen in these quote unquote monogamous relationships, it seemed like one person is monogamous, and it seemed like the other person, there's always one monogamous person and one person that needs to be forgiven, quote unquote.
But you know what? I don't even like to absolve everybody, anybody within the relationship, because even that one person. Think about this: if we're together, and you never ever caught me cheating, never caught me stepping out, never caught no text message in my phone, never did anything, and I caught you cheating, who's the monogamous one? You. You see what I'm saying? And so you don't know what people... What Drake put in his album. I know what he said on that song. I know women who are happily married until they put down their phone. Like, you don't know what the next person is doing unless you see it. You see what I'm saying?
That's absolutely true.
I don't... And I know... Trust me. I'm single in these streets. Right? I know women who put on that mask. And... it's fine with me because I ain't trying to be in a relationship. But
do you, boo?
Right. But that just speaks to what people actually feel and what they believe in and how it conflicts with each other. Right. You know what I mean? Like, you just can't... At some point, we got to start breaking away from what we was taught and what we was told as kids.
And then, because I do think monogamy can work, but I think it truly needs to be two people on the same page, because I think... what I've seen with friends, with family, with whatever, people be on different pages, but they lie and say they're on the same page. Because, for instance, and shit, I'm an open book. I'm going through a divorce. It had nothing to do with monogamy at all. It's just people evolve, and we've talked about this in the past. You have to leave room for everybody to evolve, even your spouse. Right. And that could mean evolving apart. Right. And you have to be mature enough to let that go. Right. And I know people who have evolved apart, but what they do is, like you talking about with your grandma, stay together for kids. And what people don't understand, kids see shit, bro.
They see it. They see it. And they emulate it. And yes. Because you're talking about an impressionable age, especially when a lot of that stuff goes down. Like, a lot of parents, when they get out of a relationship or get divorced and stuff like that, they don't usually do that at 15, 16, 17 years old. They usually do that around 4, 5, 6, 7 because they realized early, or they realized before they have a kid. Maybe they made a decision of the relationship ain't good, but maybe this child will make it better.
I have seen people have babies to try to fix.
It ain't gonna work.
It's not.
It's not
Y'all
gonna work.
And I try not to ever be the friend that say, you need to leave the person you're with. But I'm looking at it like, bruh, y'all ain't right for each other.
I don't give advice. I'll tell you that right now. The people,
I don't.
I'm a good listener.
Right. I'm going to listen to you.
I don't give advice. Because at the end of the day,
unless you ask
my biggest thing is do what makes you feel the best. Right. And if being with this person, no matter how toxic it is, makes you feel the best, do your thing. It's your life. I'm not the one over here feeling like this every night. I'm good.
I just want people to find inner peace and happiness. And if that's what you got over there, right? Okay, I ain't gonna fight you on it.
And that's what that speaks on too, right? Because a lot of people use relationships, and this is another reason why I'm like, I kind of steer away from relationships right now, because a lot of people use relationships as a tool for happiness. You know what I mean? Yes. And yes, people will want to make you believe that you're the reason why I'm happy. When you said
and
Will
you're
Smith,
also the reason
why I'm not happy, right? Well, Will Smith put a video out, which is so dope. He's
First
so
of all,
dope now.
his Instagram is the best Instagram on the planet. This guy has movie production for Instagram.
Man, how he rebranded himself. He's like, you know what? I can't just be untouchable anymore. And then all of a sudden, he's the king of Instagram.
And like, but positive as hell.
Yeah,
but real.
He put a video out on one of the sets he was shooting, and he was talking about making Jada happy. Mm-hmm. And he was like, man, he went to Jada and he had a conversation. He said, Jada, look, I'm done trying to make you happy. That's not my job to make you happy. And what is so dope about that is what a lot of people don't understand is if you don't have peace within yourself, if you don't have acceptance within yourself, then there's no damn way anybody is going to make you happy.
You're never going to get it.
You don't meet the greatest person, and that person is not going to ever make you happy.
No, that person can give their all to you, literally, and you're not going to be happy because you didn't have it already.
Exactly.
Like, it's not there.
And it's things where that's why, you know, when I be on these like dating sites, you know, stuff like that. If y'all see me on a dating site, I ain't really looking to date. I just want to let y'all know that.
He just wants to sext.
Listen, they gotta put me out there like that.
No, I don't know. I'm making up. I'm starting rumors.
But you know, I see it, and a lot of women I meet, they always talk about what the guy did, guy did, and
a lot of times
you can't even
have accountability,
right? And you can't even get in the conversation of like, well, what did you play in the part? Because if anybody asks me about me and my exes, I'm only gonna tell you what I did.
Yes,
because I can't speak for them.
Yes.
You know what I mean? It didn't work out.
And if you can be honest with yourself and real, how do you expect for something to work with somebody else?
Exactly.
How do you expect? And that's what I do respect about Will and Jada, because both of them are so mature. Mm-hmm. Because age doesn't make you mature. I know some immature ass 60-year-olds.
Right.
But they are so mature and they are so open in their communication with each other to be able to speak what's on your mind, to say, it's not my job to make you happy, and it's still to be a healthy dialogue. Like, that's, a lot of you guys can't have that type of relationship because you're not even honest with yourself.
It's an acceptance. If you don't accept yourself, it's hard to accept somebody else and to feel like somebody accepts you.
And it definitely is hard to accept somebody else if their viewpoints are vastly different from what you've been taught.
I had like 3 women. Sorry. I had like 3 women tell me, literally, I'm not a believer. I don't want y'all to, like, I'm not a believer. I believe in my energy. I believe in the energy around me. I control whatever that comes in my energy. If my energy is bad, I won't bring that bad energy around you. I promise you. I get myself situated first.
Agreed.
But I had like 3 women tell me, and these are women who know me. One I've been knowing about 10 years. Another one I've been knowing for a few years, and straight up tell me that there's no way we can be together. Well, why? I mean, you don't believe in God. So you knowing me, you knowing me, never been arrested, never did anything against anybody.
Would give you
right. Never called you anything outside of what your name is. Never played you. Never did anything against you.
Good to people.
Good heart. To people. You know what I do on the side that I don't promote outside. Like, you know me, and you're saying that because I don't believe in this one thing now, that makes me a totally different person.
Off limits.
It's crazy.
That is crazy, because even though this show ain't about that, but that is just crazy because we allow something that is not even of us to control us.
Right.
And that just blows my mind because we won't even question it.
You can't question it.
Blows my mind.
You can't question it.
And it's not, and this is what I do hate that people do when people think differently from the masses. We're not speaking from a place of bitterness. We're not speaking from a place of ignorance. We're not speaking from a place where somebody in the church did something wrong. Mm-hmm. We're just literally able to think on our own and to formulate our own ideas around marriage, around religion, around whatever.
Exactly.
And sharing it with you, because I'm not heartbroken. Hell, I'm out here living life.
Right.
Like this is just my viewpoint. And I ain't bitter. And that's the one thing I had to get out real quick, because people always think that, oh, you just saying that because you got your heart broken. Like, no, I'm not heartbroken. You over here looking miserable in your life. I'm out here living, bro. Come on.
Right. It's I don't know. It's just one of those things where, like, it's hard. Like, I would rather choose to be by myself. Like, I'm not lonely. You know what I'm saying? I'm not lonely. I don't have that feeling of loneliness. It never gets that dire when I'm at my place and
honestly,
I'm chilling.
when you have that inner peace and happiness, you don't get lonely. And that's the thing. When you're missing something that you're supposed to give to yourself, that's when you start making these dumbass decisions out here. Exactly.
Yeah, when you start doggone, oh man, this nigga beating the hell out of me, but I'm here.
He's somebody.
What? I had a woman who told me, because I'm a writer, and so I like kind of getting into people's story.
Yeah.
And it's just interesting to me. But before you know it, I always have to tell people, like, hey, listen, tell me if I'm being intrusive, because I will ask these questions. And so this woman, she told me she was in a relationship with a guy, and this guy just beating her ass. Like, it was really bad.
Like hospital bad?
Like,
maybe.
Yeah, like a couple times. And like stayed with him for like 9 years and had a child by him. Bad, right? Yeah. But then she say she was in that relationship, but before that, the person she was with hit her one time. And they was together like 4 years, but she still stayed. And so that was her first relationship. Then her second relationship was that guy. And then she was like, and I was like, well, why did you stay? Not like, why would you be judgmental or anything? And she told me, she thought that's what relationships were. You know what I'm saying? And that's
probably grew up saying that.
And exactly. And that's what prompted, her to be in those situations, her to, not look at it for what it was. Like, nah, why is this nigga putting his hand on me? This nigga ain't supposed to put his hands on me. Whatever the situation. You know what I'm saying? My mom, when I was a kid, watched my mom get ass whipped a couple times, and I could have easily fell into the category of, oh, I seen this growing up, and so now, this is I guess how women are supposed to be treated. But we have an issue in America and men, or in the world, and men have this issue where if this woman isn't his daughter, mother, aunt, grandmother, cousin, sister, then she don't matter. Right? And just kind of stepping away from relationships, stepping away from situations like that, I start noticing that. To where it's all good until you have a daughter. And then it's like, oh yeah, man, my daughter made me change how is that?
And why did it have to be until then for you to recognize that every woman that you encounter is somebody's daughter, somebody's sister, mother, somebody's sister, somebody's aunt.
Some woman of importance. Right. To somebody else outside of you. But that's part of the things that molded us growing up. Yeah. You know what I mean? And definitely. And that just seeps into our everyday lives without us even knowing it.
Right. The way you just make simple decisions is based on how you were raised.
Right. It's based on how you was raised. And I always say that I think we are here to not create kids in the image of us. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But guide them into the person that they're going to be.
Yeah, guide them to be adults who can make their own decisions from their own ideas, from the way they interpret the world.
Exactly.
And that's what I had to literally reverse and start teaching myself really when I moved away from Albany. I'm from Albany. Y'all should know that by now. But the Benny Tutu. But like, and I tell people, it's no lie, I moved away 19 days after I graduated because I had to go. Like, I had been ready to go for 4 years after I graduated high school, but I stayed with Albany State, whatever. But when I moved up here, and even when I first moved up here, I was still kind of into that same mindset. Like, certain things were supposed to be how my house worked, whatever. And then it just, I think when I really started getting into, you know what, when I really started getting into activism, and I say that because within the world of activism, there is so much toxic masculinity in this whole, the men need to be on the front line of the protests, and the men need to be the face of it. And every time a man got killed or beaten by police, his story's on the front. But where's the women's stories? Like, that's when I really started to sit back like, oh, these niggas really don't care. We are whole humans over here. We're not inferior to you. We're not weaker than you. You may have the physical strength, but that doesn't mean that you are overall stronger than me. And I just really started to reverse the way I was taught, reverse that Southern belle mentality, that bull, you know, and just really came into my own way of thinking. I started looking at relationships around me, my parents' marriage, cousin's marriage, grandma's marriage, and just like, I don't aspire to none of that. None of that. I honestly, before I got married, was good on being married, but you know, the feelings took over. But whatever. But it was just like, this ain't nothing that I aspire to. I really want to make my own path in this world, and I gotta do that. And so I started doing that. I make my own path mentally, physically, financially. I don't want to repeat none of the same mistakes I've seen. It's because it's all just fucked up.
It's all fucked up, and you like, your story is about as close to mine as well. Because when I moved away, when I left school, because even when I was in school, even at Albany State, like, I still had that mentality. I still had that, hey, I want to make sure that I saw some
misogyny on campus that I had thought about later. Like, this shit happened to me.
It happens. But you gotta when things like that happen, and even when you was in activism and things like that happen, you gotta question. Yes. Is this intentional, or is this unconsciously? You know what I'm saying? Because I think a lot of it just be unconsciously. It's just the way they're programmed, or we're programmed. And see, when I left Albany State and when I went into the Army, and I got into my first real relationship, and we was together for like 2 years, and then we didn't have a really good breakup, and then like that killed me, because I was just like, man, what did I do? Like, there's no way that I could have been that bad, because I never did this, I never did that, whatever the situation. And then we was together like 2 years, and then like 6 months later, which I shouldn't have done, got in another relationship, right? I still ain't even over the first one, because I'm still questioning myself. And by me questioning myself, it made me not put forth the effort that I needed to put forth in the next relationship. And then that relationship didn't end well. And then both of those relationships happening back to back made me stop. Made me say, all right, hold up. All right. It's me. Why is it me?
Right.
And most of the reasons it was me is because it was what I thought of communication when it comes to communicating with a spouse, and not being able to communicate effectively.
Right.
Right. Being upset, and instead of us working through it and talking about it, and even getting the anger out, cursing each other out or whatever, but still kind of getting through it and working through the issue, trying to figure it out. I just go ahead and shut down. Right?
Yeah.
It's terrible. It's a terrible thing to do.
Hello.
Right.
Can we talk?
It's the worst thing to do.
Right.
When it was, you know what I mean? But that's me. That was me realizing that I'm a terrible communicator because I try to internalize everything. I try to fix it on my own, which I can't do that.
Right.
Like, there's no way I can understand what the problem is if I'm not even talking about what the problem is.
Right.
But then
I've had that issue too.
Right. But then I got to understand that I'm one of the main factors of the problem.
Right.
And so now it comes to, all right, well, now I got to work on my communication. Which, man, I ain't really like this relationship or that relationship or whatever the situation. Well, now I got to work on, what do I really like? What makes me feel at peace? What makes me feel? And then I just threw away everything. It made me question everything. And then I was like,
and
man,
rightfully so.
First of all, throw all that shit away. I'll figure this shit out on my own. Yes. I don't want nobody's lesson. I don't want my mom's lesson, my grandma's lesson. I don't want nobody's lesson corrupting my thinking.
Yeah.
I'll figure it out. You know what I mean? And just broke it all the way down and just started, even when I got to the point of, the no religion thing. Like, you can tell the moments where I was still working on trying to figure it out. I wasn't, like, I had already made the decision, like, man, you know what, I don't get the same fulfillment out of it as somebody else.
I actually don't get any.
Right.
So, there's
and
that.
so, right. And so, when somebody was questioning me about it, you could tell that I was still kind of like on the fence, like, should I?
Right, you weren't
because
confident
I'm like
in
making
it
stuff up. Like,
yeah.
oh, well, every war that started was because of religion. And I'm sitting thinking like, what? First of all, why do I even got to explain why I don't believe in? I just don't. Like,
it shouldn't be that dominant where I have to explain my ideas and my thoughts. I just don't.
It is what it is.
Just like I'm not going to go in depth and asking you why you do believe.
Exactly.
Because I'm also respectful. If you do,
I don't bash it at all.
It's good.
Do your thing.
But I need that in reverse, though. I need you to, like, not try to pressure me into it. If I had a frat brother in my... First of all, I almost already don't like DMs. But definitely, because I had, like, just kind of fell off Facebook. Only because Facebook just extra.
Right.
Even though I love people being able to voice their opinions, but it just be too many of them.
Oh, yeah.
And then just too much oversharing.
Oh, yeah.
So I just fell back. And so this person inboxed me. I just want to let you... First of all, they sent me a gospel song. Like, now they already knew I was not religious. I am not religious. They sent me a gospel song first and was like, I just want to let you know I'm praying for you. I was like... So I literally sent back. I said... You do know I'm not religious, right? And he was like, oh, yeah. But I said, so you're going to disrespect me and send me and force your beliefs on me by sending me a gospel song? Now, why? And it's just this thought that what you believe in is just so superior and has to be the only way, that even with this whole America having religious freedom, y'all don't even believe that bull. You think that what you believe in, which is typically Christianity, is above all. I had, this is funny. My parents were just here. And I was looking for my keys. And I was tearing this apartment down, y'all, looking for my keys. And something told me, some intuition was like, look in your mama purse. And when I was going to her purse, she was like, why would the keys be in my purse? I wouldn't do that. Dig in a purse, pull out my keys. My daddy cracking up. And I'm like, I don't know. I was like, something just told me. She was like, it was God that told you. I was like, I said, I don't know what all that money. She was like, yes, you do know. You just don't want to know. And I'm just like, that's still that force.
That's still that force,
that you're trying to force me to feel like you feel about because I just literally call it intuition. That's what it is to me.
Yeah.
That's that gut feeling. No voice came to me and said nothing. That's just my like. And I just hate that as a black people in particular. Like I said, I respect you, but why we latch on to it so hard? Like, bro, our ancestors weren't even on this. That's what I really be wanting to go on, but I leave it on.
But see, that's the thing. We, even speaking with that and making, like, projecting that kind of belief onto everything about your life.
Everything, so, relationships, everything. And
so then you talk about, like, I asked somebody one time, are you practicing, or are you just a believer? And it's like, I mean, I go to church. I ain't religious. When I go to church, I say, well, you practicing,
right?
Like,
if you're actively getting up,
you're going to church. Yeah. That's practicing a religion.
Yeah.
I mean, well, I'm not religious. Listen, I get it.
Okay.
You in a transition or whatever the situation, but it's people who still uses that unsureness that hey, I don't want to abandon what I believe in, but I don't feel this way necessarily.
And also that too is about a lack of accountability, because I get so tired of seeing, the devil tried it today.
Exactly.
The enemy was here. No, boo, you made bad decisions. You pressed snooze 10 times. That wasn't the devil that did that. You literally pressed snooze.
Right.
That's how your day got started wrong.
It's just, I mean, but it's all of that comes back to how we deal with each other.
Right.
And if we're struggling or we have conflict within ourselves over something like religion or something like, family values or whatever the situation, sexuality, sexual orientation, what you prefer sexually, like, then you're going to bring that into a relationship. And then that's where the lies come in at, right? Because you may prefer something in a relationship that you don't want to tell this person.
Exactly. When you bring that insecurity and that unsureness with you, you're not going to have a successful relationship with nobody else.
It's not even, but then what we do is, this is what I don't understand. When we'll find somebody, and then this person know our most intimate selves. Like, this person, this side person will know the freakiness or whatever that I just want to get out. But then I go home to this person, and this person don't know that this person that I want.
They don't know you like to be tied up or something. Like, how?
How does the person you literally live with
and are supposed to be, as far as they know, monogamous with, quote unquote, not know all of that about you?
That you like, that you're an exhibitionist. You want to go and be in front of people and do this and do that. And
because it's that society's views where those types of things should be kept closeted. And like, I've literally heard men in the past say that they wouldn't want their wives to be as freaky, that they like the mistress aspect because that's where you can go be freaky. And I just think that's dumb as hell.
It's dumb as hell.
That is so dumb to me.
I don't understand.
Like, a wife is supposed to be this.
Right. Just
because you freaky don't mean that you are now smudged or like there's a smudge on your life now. No.
But great. I don't like the fact that, or not that I don't like the fact. One of my biggest questions or my biggest pushbacks with relationships is that we usually disregard the friend in our lives who knows us, number one, inside and out, knows everything about us, and accept us for who we are. And we can get in arguments, and what we're arguing about is just what we're arguing about. It's not nothing personal. It's not like I can call you, man, your broke ass keep coming out, whatever the situation.
Or I can say your bitch ass keep doing this, and we good.
But we understand. But yet we would skip over this person and go find somebody who don't know us that well and who we're not that comfortable with.
Who you can pretend with.
And then try to build a relationship with this person. You already got a relationship built with this person.
And doesn't it just feel so good to be like free over here than this, I gotta be poised and...
I can't tell this person everything. I can't.
Why?
I seen a girl with a fat ass today, but I can't tell my girl, man, she gonna go crazy. But let me call my homie because she
gonna be like, hey, me too.
Yeah, that's one thing that I question and challenge when it comes to finding a relationship, especially
in the male female dating realm. Right. I see that all the time where somebody is friend zoned, and typically, like when I'm talking to my straight homegirls about the reason somebody is friend zoned, it's normally the aesthetic, the outside.
Yeah.
You know, because that is important.
Yeah, of course.
But at the same time, when I hear them talk about that person, it almost seems like, I mean, bro, you can't kind of like get around that because you seem like you like you really feeling this, right? You really, love them,
really feeling this person,
and a lot of it too. I feel like you're using their aesthetic as a reason because you feel like your friends would judge you because they're not quote unquote as handsome or as good looking as the world views them. Right. So you're holding yourself back based on how you feel the world is going to view you when you step out together.
Right.
Fuck all that. If this person makes you happy, what you gonna go out and get this? Not saying all pretty boys or handsome guys are trash, but a lot of times you go out and get this person that is just based on aesthetics only, and they be trash.
It's a guy that you could just tell. He just did a show with Charlamagne on the Brilliant Idiot podcast, and when I listened to him, I was like, man, this guy hot or something. And I already never really liked him because you can tell what kind of person he is.
Yeah.
But Derek Jackson, the Facebook guy.
I'm about to look him up.
So he's has a huge following on Facebook, and he does a lot of like women empowerment and stuff like that.
I don't know why, but I don't like when guys do women empowerment stuff. So, but that's just me.
Okay. So you always got to look at the side eye because you can when men do women empowerment,
what you trying to get
you can kind of see the intentions behind it. You know what I mean? You can see if somebody is just like, come on, like you can see if somebody is like for real, like, nah, we need to big up our women. Like I believe, like me personally, I believe like women are born with the innate ability to give birth. They're literally God's walking this earth. We can't give birth.
We are.
You know what I'm saying? So we should protect that. But that's just my belief. Now I don't, my Facebook and stuff like that. Every now and again, I put the question out like why we treating women like this and stuff like that. But I don't want to ever make it seem like I'm pandering to women to try to get whatever the situation. But this guy, he does it. And so but his posts usually be like, and you can tell what type of man this person is. And I don't mean to just call out Derek Jackson, you know what I'm saying? But he's the example, right? But he's the example that I use. One thing that I disagree with him when he talks about women is he almost, not even almost, he liked to put up videos and telling women what they should be doing and how they should be behaving. Is he
the respectability politics police? Because that's what it almost sounds like.
He's the like he'll go after Charlamagne. Like he went after Charlamagne for Charlamagne was telling this story about a time where he could have been, he could have like raped this woman. But it wasn't rape. Of course, the woman already came out as well, and this and that. But he was telling the story about it. Charlamagne kind of open book, and the way he was telling it was like loosely, like he was like loose with it. He wasn't. It wasn't like careful. It wasn't like He was just like boom, 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 and they was kind of making jokes in between. And so he went after him. But then I'm listening to this guy talk, and I listen to the videos, and his videos would be like, ladies, quit thinking that, all you got to do is this and that to get a man. You got so. And I'm like, first of all,
who are you?
Why are you telling women what they need to do, what they need to be doing, and how they need to be acting, and how they need to be dressing, and whatever the situation. Right. And it's
or that victim blaming.
Right. But I brought that up to say you can tell with men like that who panders to an idea that women have about themselves, about relationships, about whatever. Yeah. And so
who feed on that insecurity about it.
Feed on that insecurity. And so when women hear that or they feel like, hey, listen, you know, we don't, you know, say we're not being taken care of the way we need to be taken care of. Men is always doing this, and men is always doing that. But then you have a man that speak out for y'all, but then also in the middle of speaking out for y'all, throwing these
kind of demeaning you at the same time. You
need to be a better person.
Yeah.
Whoa, what you mean?
So what is your message?
Right.
You know.
So you uplifting them or you kicking them?
Right.
While they down. It doesn't make any sense.
It's almost like you're trying to break them down to then be the savior.
Right.
Like, no, you can't do that. You can't be the villain and the hero.
Right.
But a lot of women who do carry those insecurities don't even see it.
They look at that as leadership.
Even, you know, I think he's a funny man in another aspect, but Steve Harvey can't stand the whole think like a man books.
I don't understand.
I can't stand the whole guru aspect of things where in order for you to have a successful relationship or whatever, you got, as a woman, you have to change yourself and your way of thinking to this. That is complete bull, and it keeps teaching the notion that what the man wants trumps and is superior to what the women want and should rightfully have.
But see, that goes back to the thinking of how we were brought up and what we was brought to believe. I mean, we was brought to believe Adam was born first, and Eve was created from him.
Damn, Rick. I'm sorry, y'all.
Right.
No disrespect, but a lot of them stories just sound like fairy tales to me.
Exactly.
I just can't get with them.
I mean, marriage, the creation of marriage is a fairy tale, but it's just how we were. It was just how we were brought up. Yeah. Right? We were brought up to believe a certain thing, and so when movies, when music, when inspirational figures reinforce that, right? Because people will look at Steve Harvey and be like, hey, you know, this person got it together. Yes. He working hard. He, you know, got 4 or 5 things going on.
Let's neglect the fact that he's been married like 80 million times.
Exactly.
But, you know, he's a guru.
He knows relationships. Yeah, because he's been married 4 or 5 times. Right.
And honestly, probably shouldn't be the type to be married. But he is. But he's doing it.
It is what it is. Right.
Because you're supposed to, quote unquote.
But then question Oprah for never marrying Stedman.
Right, which... And let me tell y'all, because I'm pretty sure after I dropped the bomb earlier that I was going through a divorce, it's probably going to be people in my DM. Look, I'm not the one. Right. I don't want to be in a relationship.
Right.
I'm out here traveling and having fun.
Right.
And I like my space. Mm-hmm. And one thing I did learn about myself, this is a little bit off subject, is that I'm a very independent person. Mm-hmm. And so... in going through the challenges of a relationship, of a marriage, and internalizing and learning about myself, I know that I like my independence.
Right.
I love it, actually. Mm-hmm. And I could definitely be an Oprah, where if I do decide, you need to be able to play your role as like a Stedman. Like, we ain't taking it there.
But it works for them.
It works. And not even necessarily it has to mirror that, but just knowing that whatever we decide on in these 4 walls, that's working for us.
Right.
The outside world and their views is not going to have any bearing on whatever situationship or whatever I decide to get into. Because I'm going to tell you, I'm not going to be into no orthodox regular stuff. Like, I'm just not.
Right. I think I look at marriage as exactly what it is. I don't bring the whole religion aspect into it. Bring what it is a contract to share life together.
It is.
So if I get married, all it's saying is you know, we have a kid together or something like that, and
we buy property,
and and we're able to speak on each other's behalf,
right?
Make decisions on each other's behalf in relations to this child,
or
to this house,
or
to
whatever.
this whatever the situation. It's not because we gonna create this unsinkable bond between each other that only God can come between. And nah.
And honestly, speaking of it as a contract, I would really even love the whole notion of us writing out our own contracts and not even having to go through the whole courts and whatever, and just as an agreement as two human beings who want to just be with each other.
Right.
This is what we saying we finna do.
Exactly. And and you can do that, and you can take that to your attorneys, and get special power of attorneys, do this and do that, and get
you don't
the
need
same
all the
exact
extra.
thing, right? And you can take that paperwork to the bank if you want to open up a account in this person's name. You can take that to the dealership. Y'all want to buy a car and use each other credit to do that. You can do that without doing the whole dog and pony show of a wedding.
And I think what we don't understand is we literally have the power to control every single aspect of our lives.
Exactly.
You don't have to look to nothing, no one, no book, no other people's ideals to tell you how to navigate your life. You can literally do what you want.
Yeah, I mean, but our biggest thing is competition with each other.
Yes.
And so, like,
listen, I was just telling somebody. So I know 3 different people get married, which I'm not a fan of big weddings at all. Don't care about them. But when you spoke of competition, people who don't even really have the money to be putting on these big shenanigans, whatever you want to call these weddings, but these people spending this money that they really don't have just to do the same things everybody's doing. I saw 3 different bridal showers where everybody's theme was Tiffany and Company. And I'm like, y'all all just seeing and duplicating the same things. You're spending money you don't really have just to do something. And you're doing the same thing just to say, oh, I did it better than her, though. Bro, y'all did the same thing.
You did the same thing.
I don't care what you said.
But see, here's the crazy thing. Not even going to that extent. If I ever get married, and the person I get married to want to have a traditional wedding, like, what I don't understand is, how are you having bridesmaids and groomsmen pay for anything? It's your wedding,
bruh. That's what I say. If you invite me to be a bridesmaid, are you buying this dress? Because you want me to pay $200, $250, even if it's $50, I don't want to spend it because it ain't I'm never gonna be able to wear this dress again.
Right. To
celebrate your day, and then you are mad if I'm not as excited as you. It ain't my day.
Right.
Like,
if I ever get to that point, if I decide to get married and the person that I'm getting married to, she want to have this, we not having it until I'm able to pay everybody for everything.
Right.
Like, because it's our day. Why am I forcing that on our friends?
When I say force it, they like straight mad.
Listen, don't invite me to your wedding. Don't put me in your wedding. I've been to one wedding.
Please don't put me in
20 years. Don't put me in 2 weddings in 20 years.
Wait, or if you do, make me an usher, because ushers always got on all black, and I can just show up with the all black on. I got the all black.
I'll show up to the wedding.
I will show up to the wedding.
But don't put me in your wedding. But I'll be there.
I will be there. And I will actually get you a gift, too, because that's another thing. Folks don't get no gifts. That's a whole nother thing. I'm going to actually get you something.
Well, I ain't going to get you nothing if I done paid $400 for this suit.
That's true. Now, if I'm in there and I had to pay, I
ain't getting you nothing.
Nah.
I give you a
congratulations.
You
this.
Right.
This is what I gave. Because they also expect you to put in on bachelor and bachelorette parties and bridal. Like, no, I'm good.
Listen, no, I'm good.
I have enough money for my life and the way I want to live.
Right.
I don't have money to support what you're trying to do.
Right. I don't have the money to celebrate your life.
No.
Like the way you want to celebrate your life. Like, I be seeing folks like, oh yeah, we having these bridal showers in like Cancun or like
Good luck.
Dominican and stuff like that. I was like, So they on tickets and everything to get down there.
Right.
I'm sorry.
Because unless it's a vacation I want to go on,
right.
I'm just not going just for the sake of it's your day. And I'm so happy me and my bestie on the same page, and we neither one of us into that.
Look, and the crazy thing is, I did it. I did it last year. I had a good time. You know, it's my real close friend.
Yeah.
We both know him. You know what I'm saying? But I ain't doing that shit again.
No.
Hell no.
And something like that you probably could only do for a real close friend.
Yeah.
Don't know, like I just met you 3 months ago. You said about you come. No, I'm not coming.
No.
I'm not doing it.
That. I'm not buying a ticket to go somewhere to celebrate your wedding or your fuck that.
And you know, this is off subject, but you know, this event session we can get off subject. When I was talking earlier about the masculine and feminine energies, what I was talking to my best friend about just yesterday is that she and I, even though we look mad girly, we love heels, we love things, we have a lot of masculine energy, and people don't know how to take that when we say that, but we do. We are aggressive, we are dominant typically. Like I was a more dominant personality in my marriage, for instance, even though on the outside, because she liked what is seen to be masculine clothes, you would assume she was more like masculine. But people don't get, and I brought this up to say that sometimes men have some of the more feminine energy, and it's the yin and the yang that attracted you guys. The masculine and the feminine energy, no matter who possesses it, is what attracts. And that's the answer to the question of like why gay girls like studs. It ain't necessarily that you're trying to look for somebody that looks like a man. It's just some masculine and feminine energies attracted. And it just because she has on male clothes does not mean she's the one with the masculine energy. And I think that, and I was telling my bestie that a lot of times because we are these feminine looking masculine chicks, that we have to be softer with some of our partners. And it can be hard if you're a straight woman with masculine energy because you grow up thinking this nigga ain't supposed to be soft. Like what's going on? Or this man ain't supposed to be like I'm not supposed to be harder than you on some emotional levels. But if you think about it in just energy-wise, I think men and women could get along better. Because all y'all ain't just straight up hard. And it's okay. Because all of us ain't straight up soft.
But the thing is, what's harder? Like, me being masculine and alpha this.
And let me tell you what to do.
Or me knowing and understanding my emotions.
And being able to express them.
And being able to express them and communicate my emotions effectively. Like I can tell you, hey, I'm sad right now. Or I can tell you, hey, I'm upset right now. Or I can tell you, hey, I'm happy right now. Or I can tell you, or you know what I mean? Some shit hurt my feelings. Like,
it not be like this.
Like, oh, this
pulling
nigga
teeth to get that out of you, or be seen as like this nigga be like, no, he's emotionally intelligent.
Like I just understand. I'm just in tune with myself. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of us not there, and
not trying to get there.
And a lot of women in the men-women relationship, a lot of women aren't there themselves, and so they don't know how to recognize when somebody is there or somebody is, currently working on getting there, and not understanding that, hey, listen, a big part of this relationship, if you choose to get in one, is being able to communicate effectively. If this person don't know how to convey an emotion, he can't or she can't communicate effectively.
Because a lot of times women that also possess masculine energy are bad with communicating our feelings. Which it takes a special one to be even within themselves to find that balance.
Because a lot of it be masked. A lot of it like I'm this way because I don't know how to do this. Because I'm insecure about this. And when you're that way, when you feel like something is a weakness, then it makes you put on the front. it makes you say, you know what? Nah, hell no.
Or when you feel like crying is a weakness, for instance.
Right, and then now I gotta put on this. Nah, man, nigga, fuck that shit. So.
And you just sound stupid.
You sound crazy. Are you hurt right now?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm hurt.
Well, then be hurt.
Well, be hurt, yeah, like
so that you can move forward. Because if you don't let it out, it's gonna carry on for years. It's gonna affect the way you communicate with everybody.
Right.
Friends, people in a relationship. You're in a relationship with everybody.
I think our personal life, we would connect the dots with everything outside of our personal life, but won't do the same exact thing with ourselves. So like,
and give some good advice to other people.
Right. So like, we'll say like, hey man, you can't skip the process. Like, you can't go from on the couch to the NFL. You know what I mean? Like, you have to work. You have to get off the couch. You have to do this. You have to do that. Well, shit, you can't get off the couch and go into a successful relationship.
You can't.
You gotta work. You gotta figure yourself out. You gotta understand yourself. You gotta accept yourself. You gotta know how to communicate effectively. You gotta know how to be you.
But instead of that, people just hop from relationship to relationship and keep repeating, complain and repeat the same things. And that's why I say, and I see this a lot in the lesbian community, where people or women break up and go, it's back to back.
It's back to back. Yep.
No. And women, we have this issue a lot, this accountability and this refusal to internalize and really fix our issues. Baby girl, what's going on? You know, why is it that you keep having to go back to back? What happened in your last relationship? Why didn't that work?
Right.
You know, how did you play a part in that?
Right.
Resolve that within before you take it to another relationship, because just because you are attracted to somebody new and you're open to dating them does not mean that you should.
Right.
Breathe, because that's what I'm doing. That's why I said, don't y'all sign my deal, because I'm chilling.
You start projecting things onto people unfairly.
Exactly.
When you don't accept or take responsibility for the things in you that caused the ending of these relationships.
Exactly.
That was part of the problems to these relationships. Because it's one of the hardships that I have now, talking to women, and me, like, I'm going to tell you what not my flaws is, but what I had problems with, and what I'm currently working on, and if I'm currently working on them, I guess what, it's not going to be fixed. Like, I can,
it's not.
But I'm like, I would recognize it as it's happening. You know, hey, listen, I'm frustrated right now. I don't know how to articulate my frustration in this moment. Give me a second.
Yep.
You know what I mean? But then,
and that's so simple to do.
It's so simple to do. Like, just give me a second. Like, I would say that I don't know how it's coming off.
Right.
I don't know how to not say it that way right now. Right. All I know is, at one point, I didn't used to even say that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
So to even say that,
right, it's
a big step. But it's something that a lot of people don't do. A lot of people do just. You don't hear me talking to you?
Right.
Hello.
I'm done. And it's not them. And a lot of it is not them, because it was with me. It's not me. Ignoring you.
Right.
It's me trying to figure out what to say without trying to calm myself down, trying to not say something crazy, trying to apologize for, trying to get my point across, trying to tell you why I feel like I'm right now. That's a lot of internal conflict to go through in a moment. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And if you don't know how to figure that out during this time, then you need to take some time to go ahead and slow yourself down.
Right.
Slow your mind down, whatever the situation. And so hey, I'm frustrated right now. I don't know how to get this frustration off effectively. Let me take a second.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Let me just be in silence right now.
But you have people who's not trying to hear that shit because
who
they're not there.
Yeah. And who, because they have this unresolved anger issue or this need for conflict. Because some people seem like they have to have
They got to have
conflict.
the conflict,
And
yeah.
some people believe that conflict is love. Why you not arguing with me?
Right.
Bruh.
Right.
We don't have to argue.
We don't have to argue.
And this whole notion that to truly love means to be put through the worst of tests.
Right.
That is some BS to me.
Right.
You don't have to put me through the ringer. We shouldn't have to argue every day. You shouldn't have to, if we entered monogamy, we shouldn't have to cheat on each other just to prove love.
Right.
That just seems like a bizarre way of thinking to me.
It's so bizarre. It's more bizarre that it keeps happening.
Yes.
And it's more bizarre that it not only keep happening, but that it happens at the rate of, hey, this person stepped out on a relationship and had a child outside of the relationship.
Oh, yes.
But, like, this is just a test for us.
But we don't throw this away.
Right.
Why?
Or...
Trash can.
Like, or, I done stepped out and then I done had a child, but then I realized that the person I stepped out with ain't shit, but I want to be with you, and this is just a test in our relationship, and we should be able to get over it.
No, not necessarily.
That's not how that works.
It is not.
I don't know where that...
Even, like, I get so tired of seeing this meme, and I don't know if you've seen it on Instagram, where it's like, Beyonce took Jay-Z back after cheating, and y'all out here with 3 drawers in y'all drawer, and you can't accept me back, bruh.
Yeah.
I don't give a damn what Beyonce and Jay-Z doing over there.
Right.
I don't care how much money I don't have in comparison to how much money Jay-Z and Beyonce have. If I ain't with the shits, I ain't with the shits.
That's all that is.
And you have a right to be. Just because Beyonce forgave forgave Jay-Z for cheating does not mean every woman out here got to be forgiven cheating if that's not what she signed up for.
Right.
Now, if it started out with y'all agreeing to an open relationship, we just, set our own boundaries, doing what we do, great, fine. But if she signed up for monogamy and you told her to lie that you was being monogamous too, and you cheated, she has every right to be like, bye.
But see, the ideas of when it comes to, male-woman relationships is the dynamics of sex between the two. Right. So, like, sex with men are, we look at it totally different than what women look at it. And when I was at Albany State, I used to go to this place downtown. What street is that? What street Jimmy John's on? Not Jimmy John's. The hot dog spot right there by the Civic Center.
Jimmy Hot Dogs.
Yeah, Jimmy Hot Dogs.
Is that Jefferson or Broad?
One of them. Yeah, one of them. It was an oil shop right there where the police station is now.
Oh.
Right across the street. It was or the bank is right now. Is a bank on that corner now?
It is.
Yeah. So right behind it, it was a oil shop. And it was an older guy. He played in this jazz band out there, but he owned it. And he was telling it, I used to go in there buy my oils or whatever, and then, but he, I sit in there for like 30, 45 minutes, an hour, and we just be chopping it up. And the one thing he told me was, all the women, he had to be like in his 60s at the time. Yeah. It's like, man, one thing, all the women I've ever dealt with, ever slept with, I'm still cool with them today. And he used to tell me, make sure that when you dealing with a woman or whatever, you make sure they know that you appreciate them because they're allowing you into their body. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And that's the total difference when it comes to what men believe of sex and what women believe of sex, because women is an internal thing with them. Mm-hmm. If you ain't about that life, ain't nothing going in no man body. You know what I'm saying? And so we don't look at, like, sex isn't an emotional attachment like it is for us, like it is to women, for most women. You know what I mean? Because it's different being someone who's just kind of jackrabbing.
And the thing
you know what I'm saying? Opposed to somebody actually being inserted.
And the thing is too, for a lot of us, if we know what it is up front and if we're honest with ourselves up front, we could be okay if we could be okay with it. Because, but what I have seen with us a lot, especially in regards to men and women, and I've seen it with my own friends, you know, I've seen a guy tell a friend up front, you know, I'm not trying to be monogamous. I'm still out here dating. Friend says, me too. Friend lied. Now, he's living up to what he told you. He was honest. But you're over here solo dating.
But you know
and
what?
And catching these heavy feelings.
Right. But you know what? I don't, and you know what? I don't even necessarily believe that this person lied intentionally.
Did lie, because I knew that they've been in a relationship for a long, and that's the thing, because especially here in Atlanta, I see it a lot, because there's the ratio of women to men is so large. A lot of women put themselves in these situations knowing that they do want a monogamous relationship, but it's in an act of desperation, putting themselves in a situation to be set up for failure, because on the one hand, they're either thinking, well, maybe once we get involved, I can change his mind.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Bruh.
Because we're not looking at it the same. We're not looking at it the same. If most men, just how the men psyche is set up, if a man wants to be in a relationship with you, then he'll make it known that he want to be in a relationship with you. But then you have men who also lie and know that you want to be in a relationship, but they might just want to fuck. And they may just be like, listen, she fine, and I need her on the team.
Say what I had to say.
Right. I just need her on the team or whatever. And that's you know, that's on him. That's fucked up or whatever. But then I also know, well, no, I ain't gonna say I know women, and I'm not gonna put myself in a position to where I'm speaking for women, but I also challenge the idea of when women put themselves in a situation where somebody says that they're not trying to be monogamous and they're not trying to settle down, and then they put themselves in a situation. I also believe that some women can believe at the moment that, I'm just getting out of a relationship or whatever the situation, and I'm not looking for that either. And they're not lying per se, but they're lying when it comes to emotionally, because they don't understand their emotions. They don't understand it. They don't know their emotions. Right.
To really work through your emotions. Right.
And so now when the emotions get involved, they're at a point where, well, shit, like I'm falling for this person. Why am I falling for this person? Because
sex can be very emotional. It can trick you.
Because you was emotionally dishonest with yourself in the beginning, not understanding that, hey, my emotions may take over and I may want more than just what we had set up. And I can tell you one thing about guys and sex. It ain't gonna happen. Like if it's already, guys, we are complacent individuals. Like if we got something set up, like we will keep that setup going. Right. You know what I'm saying?
And if it's an emotionally sure woman who got her shit together, she's for real in that too. Yeah. The only thing is, and I'm sorry, I love women, but we won't be that much honest about that whole situation. Or we just hadn't taken the time to really go ahead and resolve whatever emotional issues are still lingering. Right. But you know what? We done talked way over time. But it's okay, because I've enjoyed this conversation. And I appreciate you for being on the show.
I appreciate you for having me. It's definitely my pleasure.
You stay with the viewpoints. Even I'm like, I didn't think about that. But he got a point.
I'm about to start a podcast. Yes. And we gonna get to it. I need to have my favorite sister on the podcast. You know what I mean? And I like to talk shit. I might as well talk to
might as well talk, see where it goes. You know what I mean? You never know. Yeah. But thank you. What's your Instagram?
I Met Sage.
That's so simple, guys.
Yeah, I Met Sage.
Literally.
That's it.
You just met him.
You know what I mean?
He's here. Y'all follow him on IG, and of course, the sister page is sister.radio. And mine is Your Favorite Sistah Like I said, don't slide in my DM when they're crazy. I will turn you down.
Right.
Unless you're trying to be statement. You know, we can talk about it. But thank y'all for tuning in. Tune in next Tuesday at 8:30 p.m. Bye.
Salute.